Well, policy making at the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has formally stopped following the exit of Chairperson Wafula Chebukati, as well as Commissioners Abdi Guliye and Boya Molu. That means that the country could soon find itself in a crisis if the process of appointing new commissioners is not fast-tracked. So, what does the future hold for a body that's required to deal with any electoral matters that may arise, including the upcoming delimitation of boundaries? And TV's Ibrahim Karanja explores.
The end of term of office for Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairperson Wafula Chebukati and Commissioners Boya Molu and Abdi Guliye takes Kenya into an uncertain future. Uncharted waters not envisaged by framers of the Constitution, the trio's exit now leaves empty seats in the ideally 7-member policy-making commission at a time when the IEBC's in-tray is filling up rapidly.
Elections are very serious, and therefore who manages the election must be of critical importance. We've been dancing around a fuel tanker with the cigarettes and matchsticks. This country can burn.
I don't think we're in any legal quagmire. There's a moral quagmire and a perception quagmire. But in terms of constitutional and legal requirements, we are not in any quagmire.
Definitely a breach of the law, because the law says you need to have a commission. First of all, the Constitution says there shall be a commission, and then the law, the IEBC Act provides the modalities of getting the commissioners on board, and therefore it is important that that breach doesn't continue.
In the unlikely event that Commissioner Irene Masit pulls through the tribunal, being the sole substantive commissioner will not save the country from the confusion, as she will not be able to make decisions without quorum.
It's absolutely important that the critical functions which the commission is supposed to undertake, voter registration, continuously updating the voters, the question about boundaries, and the related questions on the preparation of the 2027 election, and any election which comes in between. It's absolutely important that those policy questions that the Commission requires commissioners to approve are put in place. So as we go ahead, it's going to be quite a problem to conduct the Commission's business without commissioner.
On the principle of perpetuity, so that there can never be a vacuum in government. What we saw today is the final day of the IEBC commissioners. The two commissioners will hand over to the chair. The chair will not hand over to anybody. The chair will still retain the instruments of the chairman of the commission until he hands it over to a new commission, to a new chair. So, in the event there's a crisis, they will be recalled.
On October 21st, 2022, President William Ruto gazetted a notice of impending vacancies at the IEBC, pending the exit of Chairperson Chebukati, Guliye and Molu.
That is something which should have been done 6 months before the expiry of the term of the 3 commissioners, so that there is no vacuum.
However, since their resignation in December, the head of state is yet to gazette vacancies in the commission for the positions previously held by Vice Chairperson Juliana Cherera and Commissioners Justus Nyang'aya and Francis Wanderi.
The law that is supposed to deal with the selection panel that is in existence, there is a bill in Parliament proposing that that law is not representative enough to bring the harmony and the peace in this country. That amendment needs to be concluded. If the president uses the law that is still there, we'll still have the problem that we have with the Chebukatis, where Kenyans don't feel that they are representative.
But we have now expanded this to a situation where all political parties that are registered and have a unit under the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties under the liaison committee to participate in the selection of the panelists or the members of the panel that will then select the or interview commissioners for IEBC.
The bill, sponsored by National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, sailed through the floor of the House early December and will be coming up before the Senate in a special sitting this Thursday. As is with many pieces of legislation of such magnitude, the IEBC Amendment Bill of 2022 has already seen the drawing of political daggers as the opposition accuses President William Ruto of planning to rig the 2027 election
sheria zote za uchaguzi lazima zijadiliwe na Wakenya wakiketi chini, na sio kuwa sheria za mtu mmoja, sheria za William Ruto. Hatuwezi kukubali hiyo.
Previously, the Parliamentary Service Commission used to appoint 4 members for appointment into the panel, while the Law Society of Kenya nominated 1 member, as the Interreligious Council of Kenya was allowed to nominate the remaining 2 members. However, in the new amendments, the Parliamentary Service Commission has had its nomination slots reduced from 4 to 2, as 2 new entities, the Political Parties Liaison Committee and the Public Service Commission, have been allowed to nominate persons into the panel. The Law Society of Kenya and the Interreligious Council of Kenya retain their slots of 1 and 2 members respectively.
Democracy is slow, and let us not move in terms of timelines. I've assured Kenyans that however long the process will take, the country is safe, but we cannot circumvent the process. We cannot circumvent the rule of law. We cannot circumvent the best principles for convenience.
With the boundary delimitation process around the corner, all eyes will be on the key players involved in ensuring there is a commission in place. Ibrahim Karanja, NTV.